Tom Brady will have the next week or so to work on his tan because he's not with the team. And this was such a strange exercise in PR by the Buccaneers. The way that it went was all of a sudden on Thursday, Brady's excused for personal reasons. And then Todd Bowles tells the media he won't be back until after the Titans preseason game, which is this weekend. We do the math, it's 10 days. He's gone for personal reasons. Nobody's saying why he's gone. Then they start saying, well, this was pre-planned. Jason Light, the GM, nothing to see here. This was all pre-planned. We knew this. Well, why didn't you tell anybody? Was it so simple that you just didn't tell anybody because you didn't want Tom to be asked about it on the one occasion that he's had a press conference since camp opened? It's just weird. The whole thing about it is odd and strange and unprecedented. Other than injury or serious family emergency or contract situation, you don't have guys leave in the middle of camp. And if he's just leaving to take a break, that really is strange. And Rick Stroud of the Tampa Bay Times reported over the weekend, Chris, that the hiatus is unrelated to his health or the health of any family member, because the first thought was, hey, his mother had a public cancer battle back around Super Bowl 51 or 2, and that was the first thing people thought. You know, obviously, hey, look, when there isn't information provided, people are going to speculate. But not a health issue for him or his family. Personal reasons. No one's saying what they are. He's just gone. He was there for 2 weeks. He had a couple of days off around his birthday, and now he's just gone for 10 days. I don't know what to make of it because, again, we're in uncharted waters with him at his age. As long as he's played, everything is new, everything is different, everything is unprecedented.
Yeah, it is weird. I mean, you know, you don't expect to see that with Tom Brady, certainly. You know, the guy that's the machine and always there and leading the team and everything like that. He's amazing that way. I mean, he's always working. Whether it's May, June, July, whatever, I have no, gleam here. I have no, inside info or feel for here. I've had two people tell me it is a personal matter, and that's it. I don't think Tom, I was one of who maybe, was his elbow sore or something like that he's trying to get away with here. Again, but I got to think it's something, somewhat of a real big issue because it's not just rest. Tom Brady didn't leave just to go to rest. Like, oh, I need a few weeks off here in the middle of training camp. I find that highly unlikely. I got to think it is a personal matter. I don't know what that is. I don't. I understand them maybe not telling anybody before training camp because they don't want everybody asking about it every day and trying to dig into his life that way, trying to figure it out. You kind of get hit by the broadside of the barn here, and all of a sudden, yeah, the people are trying to, but I don't know. So I'm just going to take it at its word right now, that it is a personal matter, and that the GOAT wouldn't be missing any time ever if it wasn't something real.
But this is what goes along with being Tom Brady.
It is.
Especially as he spreads his wings as it relates to his various business interests and always selling something on his Twitter feed. And he's a high-profile athlete, the highest-profile NFL player. Now, if not ever, people are going to wonder. And there's something that just doesn't add up. Like, if it was some serious personal issue, how did you know about it before camp even began? And was it something that was negotiated back in March when he unretired? Hey, I want a new coach and I want 10 days off in the middle of training camp. I mean, it's not like they're in a position to tell him no if he asks for it later, but there's just something about it that seems unusual and, given the circumstances, unprecedented. We've never had a 45-year-old franchise quarterback. We've never had a guy with a family. You got kids in their teens, and you're still going strong as the starting quarterback of an NFL team with very high expectations for what's going to happen this season. The whole thing just seems a little strange.
Yeah.
And look, I mean, we know all the time that it happens where we're told something other than what the truth is. Hell, he hit an MCL injury for all of 2020. Teams will lie, cheat, do whatever they have to do. And I'm not saying that's what's going on here, but we know that it happens. You have to factor that into your analysis of this. And when things don't add up, you got to wonder, are they being straight with us? Was this something that really was pre-planned? Or did it just come up and they're saying it was pre-planned so people don't freak out? And then what about the guys who are there busting their butts? I can't say that 90 guys universally are fine with one of the guys, even if it's Tom Brady just disappearing for 10 days. I can't say that they're, oh, okay, fine, it's no big deal. We're here working. You're not going to sell all 90 guys on that. which is part of the challenge for Todd Bowles and the rest of the coaching staff. And Chris, I think if the 90 guys knew what was going on, somebody would leak it some way, somehow. I think the 90 guys are in the dark, or 89 are in the dark.
Right. Well, 10 days is not a big deal for Tom Brady. Not at this point of his career. He is the effing man. Let's just not forget about that. Nothing in our history with Tom Brady would tell us, he's just taken off for some stupid reason. This is a guy he's obsessed as much as anybody we've ever seen in the sport. And I will say that I'll disagree with you a little bit here. I think this is one guy that can get, the 89 will just go, we see what he does. He's all in all the time. He's
except when he's not.
Well, but you don't know he's not all in right now. Maybe, again, I think we got to respect this for what it is. For a guy that's just shown us, 22 years of just pure obsession, I can't get off of that. I gotta have some other inkling first before I can go down that road. And I just would think that there is something real here. I don't know what it is. It is fishy, like you said. There's no doubt about it. I don't understand it either. But I think the team is going to be fine. And the players, with Brady, this is football God. It doesn't matter who you are in the locker room. And I think they know he's about his business and he'll be ready to go when the time comes.
For how many years of your life can you suspend the rest of your life for 7 uninterrupted months? We don't see guys in their 40s do this. This is something that younger men can pull off. As you get older, it's harder to be away for that long, to be fully immersed for that long. And it makes me wonder, Chris, look, if this is part of a broader plan to try to balance out his life, or I don't know, what's going to happen during the season? Is he going to get, Tuesday through Thursday off in advance of a game? I don't know.
No.
Do his remote game planning? I don't know.
No.
This is all so new to us and him and sport generally, to have a guy. George Blanda played this long, but he was a kicker by the time he was 46.
Yeah, right.
He wasn't the starting quarterback of a
right.
highly contending team. And
right.
so it's an unusual situation. It invites curiosity.
It does.
Curiosity is normal and natural for what we do. And I just, obviously the situation makes us say what's going on, because it feels like there's more than meets the eye here. And it may just be a failure by the Buccaneers PR staff to properly set this up to minimize the curiosity and the speculation.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.